This is Fieldsports Channel News. It's going to be the biggest day ever for field sports when Britain goes to the polls on the 4th of July 2024.
This election will be seen alongside of really big elections in our history, like 1910, 1945, 1997, and now 2024.
That's the verdict from Basque, which says that so many key issues will be decided by whoever takes power after the general election. There may never have been a bigger day at the ballot box for shooting and conservation. The shooting organisation is urging all voters to understand where candidates they may vote for stand.
The key issue is whether candidates support sustainable shooting conducted according to the law. Whether they support an effective and efficient firearms licensing system. Whether they recognise the benefits that shooting delivers to the country as a whole. Not only environmental, but we provide management and conservation hours equivalent to 26,000 jobs. That's an amazing input into the countryside, and politicians should value it. And often they don't even realise it happens.
The Countryside Alliance believe that Labour will take power from the Conservatives in July. It's urging whoever's in government to take note of rural issues, the work of farmers and the value of hunting, shooting and fishing to the economy.
The outcome of the general election seems fairly inevitable, but we'd urge any incoming party to consider certain things for the benefit of rural Britain. One of these is rural crime, on the increase, particularly the likes of fly tipping. Other than this, we know that our farmers and producers, rural producers, need more support.
If you'd like to avoid watching Chris Packham on your TV, then why not try the real Springwatch instead? While he and Michaela Strachan pop out the party line on the BBC, here are pictures from cameras set up on moorland in the Peak District, celebrating what the Peak District Moorland Group calls the real thing. It's the 4th year the group has set up the event, which celebrates the benefits gamekeepers provide on managed grouse moors. It's broadcast on social media and is in direct competition to the BBC version, shown at 8 p.m. each night. It's also blissfully Packham free. You can watch the live pictures by clicking the link below. The Scottish Gamekeepers Association has released a new film in which they say that the government's stats about deer numbers in the Highlands is a lie. The SGA says official figures claiming problems with Scotland's deer population try to pin the blame on sporting estates in the north of the country. Instead, the SGA says its research shows there are problems with deer in much less rural areas, particularly in the lowlands and in green spaces around cities. It says that of the million deer the Scottish Government estimates live in Scotland, 750,000 aren't red deer living in the north, but are other species concentrated around the urban central belt. Link to the SGA film below. A Scottish estate is re-establishing red squirrels. A conservation industry body has released 6 of them onto the Drimmin estate on the Morven Peninsula in the Scottish Highlands. Landowners and gamekeepers hope the animals will thrive because there are no local populations of greys, which carry a virus that kills the reds. According to the Scottish Squirrels website, the nearest grey squirrel sighting is in Aberfeldy, more than 100 miles away. 5 years is too long for a gun certificate. That's the conclusion of an inquiry into the murder of a mother and her 2 young children in 2020. Robert Needham shot and killed Kelly Fitzgibbons and her 2 daughters in West Sussex 4 years ago. A domestic homicide review says Needham had lied about his mental health and a previous conviction on the application for his shotgun licence. However, the review concluded that the gap between renewal and review, which currently stands at 5 years, should be shorter to account for potential changes in circumstance. The review concluded no agency or organisation could have prevented the deaths. Thanks to Timothy Field for the story. It looks like the kitchen will be another of the battlefields contested in the general election. The Daily Mail says that Labour donor Dale Vince is demanding the party bring in a meat tax to push more people towards veganism. It's unlikely to become policy. Labour leader Keir Starmer recently appeared on a Channel 4 cooking show where he produced a dish of tandoori salmon and then revealed a love of bacon sandwiches had forced him to abandon being a veggie because he loves eating meat. Children struggling with loneliness could be prescribed fishing trips to help with their mental health. A study by University College London recommends angling as one of the new social prescriptions to be used by the NHS. It says that the sport can help those aged between 9 and 13 to deal with mental health difficulties, which it says have become prevalent since the COVID pandemic. Other activities recommended include museums, trips, and even Charlie's favourite, needlework. And finally, one of the most famous fish ever landed by an angler is up for sale. Clarissa the carp was captured by Richard Walker in 1952 and was recognised as a world record weighing 44 pounds. The capture from a lake in Herefordshire is regarded by many as one of the most significant in modern angling and paved the way for modern carp fishing techniques. The fish lived in London Zoo after capture and was later displayed as she is here. She's expected to sell for up to £40,000. Here's Ben Jones with the details.
Beautiful specimen there, as you can see. A world record at the time in 1952, caught by famous author and writer Mr. Richard Walker. So we're very pleased to have this up for auction on the 24th and 5th of July. Not to be missed. It's going to create some interest. One of the most important specimens out there that's on the market today. So very pleased to have this one.
You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.